country? What have we become here? This isn't us. How did we let this happen?
This is who we've always been. This country has never been great for everybody. It was designed to benefit white people, specifically 21-year-old land-owning white men. Period. Hard stop. And every demographic or gender outside of that has had to fight against the white man just to be equal. Go back to the Middle Passage. 1.4 million black people died on ships. Segregation, Jim Crow, women's suffrage movement, Asians in internment camps. We murdered millions of Native Americans and just took their land. We started a war with Mexico and took that land. We took the land from King Kamehameha in Hawaii. All we've done as a white people, we're like locusts. We take and we take and we take and we take. That's what you're seeing right now. A white man taking Venezuela. A white man taking Greenland. A white man probably going after Colombia. Let's be real. Today is the 5th year of January 6th. A white man lied about an election because he didn't like the results. White people went to the U.S. Capitol and beat officers. 5 of them died after that day. 4 from PTSD, and Officer Sitnick died from his injuries the following day. Many officers had heart attacks, crushed vertebrae, PTSD. The entire world saw it. And this country said, yep, that's the guy I want back in power. The rapist, the child molester, the convicted felon, the pedophile, the man who cheats on his wife with a porn star, the guy who asked for the execution of 5 black men, grabbed women by the pussy, grabbed them by the blah, 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 calling women piggy, calling them fat, calling them ugly, telling 30,000 lies, having dinner with Nick Fuentes. And white people in a majority went to the booth and said, this is really hard. It's either that, the guy that talks about Hannibal Lecter and electric sharks and how windmills cause cancer, who stares at the sun without sunglasses, or the black woman, the most qualified candidate in the history of our country. And this country voted like it always does for the most morally bankrupt, unqualified white man just because he's white. And we still today refuse to have the difficult conversation that part of this country was triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in the fields picking their cotton. So they went back to the plantation owner, what they know. They would rather burn this country to the ground than thrive under a black woman. And white people are walking around like, this isn't who we are. Yeah, it's who we've always been. White privilege has kept you safe from it, has shielded it from you. And even now, while immigrants are being mistreated, good people that work hard, that bust their ass, that are good people, that love this country more than MAGA does, actual patriots that love this country. We're watching women getting dragged through the snow with one arm, losing their pregnancies. We got immigrants in concentration camps losing their lives, getting 1 meal a day, 2 showers a week. Over 200 U.S. citizens have been arrested because they're racially profiling people. And we're just sitting around, well, I don't want to talk politics because I don't want to upset a friend. And we're doing what we've always done as white people. Going right back into our privilege because it doesn't affect me. And you think that somehow, because you participated in a No Kings protest in April, July, and October on a Saturday outside of working hours, that you deserve a participation trophy because you did something. And you woke up and you made signs and you high-fived and you went to watch Netflix, or you went to a baseball game, or you went to a football game. And what did you do? Did you go on a general strike? Oh no, I can't do that. I can't afford to. That's too uncomfortable. Have you stopped paying taxes? Oh no, that's too uncomfortable. Have you posted on social media? Oh no, I don't want to affect work. I don't want to upset Uncle Bob because he might talk to me during Christmas. Did you stop spending on Black Friday? No, I can't do that. I need the discounts for Christmas. What are you willing to do? Because I haven't seen enough people that look like me willing to be uncomfortable. That's the problem. We will not remember the voices of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends. And right now, that's what white people are doing. You, white people, including myself, are responsible for this through our silence. Just like the 3 officers stood by while George Floyd was murdered, we're sitting by and watching it happen because we think that our privilege will keep us safe. You're complicit in it, and you're complicit in it, and you're complicit in it. I don't do politics means I have white privilege and I'm going to hide behind it as long as I can because it doesn't affect me. Don't wave your gold cross at me and say you love your neighbor as yourself when the only person you care about is yourself. I do this because I was named after Paul and I consider myself an imperfect person in all aspects, but I consider myself a person of faith. And I might not know all the answers to everything, but I know one thing. If Jesus was here and saw what was happening in this country, I'll be goddamned if he wouldn't be out there protesting every day. He would be on a strike. Every day, he would be turning over tables in churches and synagogues and the Congress and the Senate. And he would do everything he could to stand up for justice. Until this country decides to do that, you're going to get what you deserve. This man is doing what white men always do, is they take and they take and they take and they take. He's going to take Venezuela. He's going to take Cuba. He's going to take Greenland. And we're just going to sit by and say, oh, let's wait for the midterms. It doesn't matter who wins the midterms. Why do you still think the Democrats are going to save us? They are not up for this fight. This is not about politics. It's about white supremacy. For too long, we thought that we made progress. We never did. What we're seeing is the remnants of the lost cause. The only difference, other than the year, is that Donald Trump, the rapist pedophile, told them, be who you are. Come out of the closet. Leave your white hoods at home and put on your red hats. I'll support you. And that's what you're seeing. That's why you see white nationalists all over the country now, because they're emboldened by the racist, white supremacist grand wizard in the White House. This isn't rocket science. And everybody's saying, who's going to save us? We're not willing to be uncomfortable. Nobody's coming to save you. It doesn't matter if a Democrat wins. It's not going to stop what's wrong with this country. Donald Trump is a symptom of white supremacy. It'll be J.D. Vance next, or some other far-right Pharisee, some other white nationalist that's afraid of a white minority. It's going to be somebody else. Until we fix the root of this problem, we will never be a great country for everybody. And we've got here because we have propagandized generations of people in this country, and we've told ourselves that we're the best of the best of the best of the best, and it's a lie. We raise our kids in American flag diapers, and we eat our freedom Wheaties before we go to school, and we talk about freedom and guns and Second Amendment and bald eagles and more freedom, and throw in God once in a while and sprinkle in a gold cross or some other symbol of nationalism. And we go to baseball games and we worship the flag, and we go to school and we worship the flag. And before we leave the house, we feed our pet bald eagle, and we get in our truck and put on 400,000 million American flags because we don't want our neighbors to forget that we're patriots. And then we polish the Constitution. And then we don't put on seatbelts because we're patriots. We don't want to be confined by safety. Screw that. Yeah, we're anti-vaxxers. Yeah, we're patriots. And then you turn up God Bless America so the entire state of California can hear you. and you go to work. But first, you got to go in your house and get 500 billion guns and put them in your back seat because you're a patriot. And it's nationalism. Patriotism is doing what I'm doing and standing up for the people that the flag represents. I was at a protest at an ICE facility in Las Vegas last year. And it was interesting. I was there and it was almost all Latinos and Latinas. They were having their chicle and their quinceañeras. And you know what? They had an American flag that was half American and half Mexican. I was like, you know what? That's what America is. And at that moment, I knew that those people, whether they were immigrants, whether they were citizens, I didn't care. They were good people. That's what I care about. They loved this country more than MAGA did. Because MAGA wants people to love this country the way that they want, which is white, 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 white. They're stuck on symbolism and nationalism. And the people on the right have done a damn good job of indoctrinating a bunch of uneducated, racist white people in the South to weaponize religion through abortion and being gay, that the liberals are the enemy and they're all going to hell and they're evil. And it's been a lie. But yet somehow when they vote for a rapist and a convicted felon and a pedophile, somehow, hey, no one's perfect. And that's the hypocrisy, because that's what it is. It has never been about God or Jesus. And I'll remind you that the KKK and the lynchings didn't let black people sit in church. In fact, they would lynch black people and leave them outside hanging from the tree after the Sunday service, and then all the white people would be in their nice clothes and take pictures because, you know, nothing says we're a Christian nation. But that's the lie that they told people, that we're a Christian nation. Lynchings, Jim Crow, segregation, tearing out the fetuses of black women, using babies for bait for alligators. The Middle Passage, where 1.4 million people died. The Trail of Tears, Wounded Knee, Asian internment camps. Black people not sitting in church or same schools, but hey, we're a Christian nation. But what that means is that we're a white nation. That's what it means. When you hear traditional family values, that means you could be a white man that rapes women and molests little girls and be president, because that's traditional family values. White. When are we going to finally face the original sin of this country? We didn't make progress during the civil rights movement. We suppressed it behind a dam. And this plantation owner in the White House, this grand wizard, has opened that dam. And it's so full that the water's coming over the top of the dam. And it's about to crack open. And the Stephen Millers and the Steve Bannons of the world and the Marco Rubio who wants to be close to whiteness and the Lindsey Grahams, they're all going to kiss up to the white man, because he is their Hail Mary to save their version of traditional family values from the non-white people taking it over. When are we going to address it, people? It was never about the price of eggs or gas. They were never going to vote for the black woman. And when you look at the Zohran Mamdani race, the only demographic that did vote for him, white people. Harris and Trump, white people. Go look at the early polling for Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. I know it's shocking, but the majority of people that aren't voting for her, white men and women and Latino men, because there is a hint of misogyny in those people. They're not a monolith, but you see the same demographics vote for the man again and again and again. And for those of you that are still not believing that this is a sexist, misogynist country, why don't you ask yourself this question? Why is it that half of our country are women? 50%. And in 249 years, we've never had a woman president. That we would rather have a pedophile, rapist, convicted felon, white man as the president than the most qualified black woman. It's misogyny. Maintaining the white male patriarchy is more valuable than morality and decency, integrity, and honesty. And I voted for John McCain and I voted for Barack Obama. I even voted for Ross Perot. I have voted all across the aisle. They were decent people. I had respect for them. They had integrity, decency, kindness. I would have been fine with either one of them winning. But what we've done now is completely abdicated all that for white supremacy. And that's a damn shame. It's time that we finally had this conversation. Have a white day.